This is not a live cougar anymore. Poor baby. I wish it were. But every time I show people the cougar, I like to tell them that I say thank you to the animal because it gave its life, but it helps me, he or she helps me talk to people about how to be safe around cougars, how to live and let live, right? So I think cougars are really special, but I don't want to get eaten by one. Does anybody have an idea? And by the way, that almost never happens. Does anybody know what cougars like to eat? Yeah, it's dead. It's dead. What does a cougar like to eat? Can you write it in the chat? Deer. Raina says deer. Deer. Give yourself a pat on the back, Raina. Good job. Yep. Cougars like to eat deer. But the trick is we don't want them to think that we are deer. So there's some things we shouldn't do, like go out by ourselves on a trail running, jogging at dawn or dusk, because that's when the cougars like to hunt. Now let's say you're walking on the trail and suddenly you see a live cougar. What do you think you should do? Write it in the chat. Or Charlie can call on you, whichever works better.
Yeah. I saw your hand again, Leah, if you want to answer out loud.
Oh, yeah, and I see a good one in the chat too.
Nice. Run.
So
No, don't run.
We've got some different answers.
Walk away slowly.
We've got some different answers. And a few of them are just on target. So I can't see them all, but somebody said, stop and look big. And they were right on target. So
and we got be loud. Like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
All of you, here's what I'm gonna help you do this. We're gonna pretend that we see the cougar. So I'd like all of you Girl Scouts, stand up where you are. Stand up. You can do it. Okay, now raise your arms all the way to the sky. All the way to the sky. Exactly. Perfect. And now tell the cougar, I am not a deer. Say that with me. I am not a deer. Oh, let's do that one more time. See if we can do it louder. I am not a deer. Excellent, excellent. And now look behind you. Don't sit down yet. Look behind you. Keep your arms up. Keep your arms up. Look behind you and take a step back. Take one step back. And then look at the cougar again and say, I am not a deer.
No.
Okay. Okay. And you're going to keep doing that until the cougar says, no, not a deer, and goes away. Okay.
Hi. Go away. Come on.
That was very good. All right. Now, somebody else said that we have bears at my park at Sugar Canyon State Park, and they were correct. So I also brought a pet bear with me.
Oh.
Now, does anybody think they know what kind of bear this is? If you do, write it in the chat. And somebody asked a question, why are they dead? Well, it's not too good to mess around with live bears and live cougars. So this is how I'm able to show you what they look like, right? So I say, thank you, bear, for helping me show people what black bears look like.
And we've got 3 people saying black bear, so.
So how did you know it was a black bear? Because it's not black, is it? How did you know? Well, here's the trick.
Anybody know?
Because black bears are the only bears that we have in New Mexico now. No, actually, brown bears are a kind of grizzly bear. There used to be grizzly bears here, but people hunted them out. Okay. So when these animals die, somebody was asking, why just use dead ones? Well, if one of them dies, like this bear might have been hit by a car, and if once it's died, this is a way for us to use its fur to show people what they look like. Okay. Now earlier somebody said, oh, and I should back up. So we want to be safe around bears. And the big thing to do with bears is not feed them.
Do bears eat meat?
They'll eat almost anything we will. Okay. So if we leave out dog food, do you think the bears are going to eat it? What do you think? Shake your nod or shake your head. What do you think? They're going to eat dog food or not eat dog food? Oh yeah, they'll eat dog food. Will they eat hummingbird juice? Do you think they like the sweet hummingbird juice? Oh yeah, they do. Oh yeah. They'll knock your hummingbird feeder down to get to it. So I wanted to show you something that I found at Sugar Eat. Some folks were camping a few years ago, and they had a whole case of Sprite, and they left it outside their camper. And when they came back, every can had been messed up. So let's see if I can show you this. You see how this can is messed up? Do you see those holes? Now, is the can open? No. What did the bear do to get the soda? What did the bear do? That's right, he bit into it and got the sugary soda inside. And he did that with every can of Sprite. So I was very confused and said to the game warden, how did the bear smell the soda inside the closed can? And the game warden said, probably the bear found an open can of soda sometime in the past and remembered. Whoa. Is that a smart bear? What do you think? Was that a smart bear? Yeah. So should we leave stuff like this around? What do you think? And you know what happens when bears get in trouble?
And they become our ambassador that you have there with you.
It's possible. When we get bears in trouble, which is usually what happens, the bears are the ones that pay the price. Usually, a lot of times the bear dies. Well, because the game wardens, they have a tough job. They want to protect the bears, but they want to protect you too, right? So if the family that was in the campsite before you left food out and the bear came through, and then those people left, and you and your family come through and you're camping, do you think the bear remembers to look in the campsite to see if there's food? What if you're in the tent and the bear starts trying to come in the tent? So the game wardens have to decide what to do with the bears. So the best thing for us to do is to never let the bears get in trouble. Okay, so here's how I remember it. Help keep black bears out of trouble. Pick up your trash on the double. Can you say that with me? Here we go. Help keep black bears out of trouble. Pick up your trash on the double. Okay. So I have, oh, I forgot. I wanted to show you this. This is my poop bag. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. This is a bag of bear poop.
Oh, but that's got like trash
Let's take
in
a look
it.
at this. What's in there? What's in that bag of bear poop? Can you see? What's in there?
Is it plastic?
Yep.
Ooh.
Candy wrappers, plastic bags, all kinds of gross stuff. So here's the deal. When we leave our trash out and the bear eats it, it comes out the other end too. Isn't that sad?
Mhm.
Would you want to poop out trash? No, and it can make them sick. It can even kill them. So we want to help those black bears. Okay, I've got one last animal to talk about. Somebody mentioned that they had seen a snake in a park. So I want to show you this little snake. This little snake is dead too. And the reason why this one's dead is because someone saw it at Ute Lake State Park and they killed it. And I said, can you please give me the body so that I can show other people? So this is a little tiny snake. It's a baby rattlesnake. Okay. How do I know it's a rattlesnake? Can anybody see how I know it's a rattlesnake? How do I know it's a rattlesnake?
Go ahead, Raina.
By the tail and by like the diamond shaped on its back.
Okay, yeah, the tail. What's on the end of the tail?
A rattle.
A rattle. A snake can't be a rattlesnake unless it's got a rattle. Now, I have to tell you that I think rattlesnakes are that's okay, sweetie, you don't have to look. I think rattlesnakes are the most polite snake there is when it comes to rattlesnakes. Does anybody have an idea why I think they're polite? So if the snake is on the ground and I'm about to walk onto the snake does this.
It gives you a warning.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And there's no other venomous snake that does that. So our rattlesnakes are actually pretty polite. What are they trying to say when they rattle?
Don't step on
What are
me.
they trying to say?
You like that one?
Don't step on me. Say that.
Don't step on me. That's it. Don't step on me.
I'm not.
That's it. Right. So if we step on a dog or a cat, are they going to bite us? Maybe, right? So the snake is just doing the same thing that a dog or cat might do. Wait a minute. Rattlesnakes have venom. They're out to get us. Is that true? Are the rattlesnakes out to hurt us? What's the venom for? What's the venom for?
Anybody know? Raise your hand. Go ahead, Raina.
To protect itself from other animals?
And then Paisley had her hand up too.
That's a good guess.
Thank you. Go ahead, Paisley.
We need another guess though.
Protect itself and not get eaten.
That's a good guess. And sometimes a bite might help protect them. But the venom, what some people call poison, but it's actually venom, is very powerful. Let me ask another question. Does anybody here know somebody who goes hunting? Anybody know somebody who goes hunting?
Oh,
Okay.
Alana does, Madeline does, Shiloh does.
I went hunting a couple of years ago. So if I go take a rifle to go hunting, what do I need inside the rifle? I'm seeing something in the chat.
Like they're mouthing it. Go ahead, Leah.
What do I need in the rifle?
See if
If I
anybody
just take an
types
empty
in.
rifle, is that going to work?
To help you heal from a snake bite.
Yeah. You should also.
Okay.
What goes inside the
If I go hunting with a rifle, I better put some ammunition in that rifle or I'm not going to hunt anything, right? Are snakes hunters? Are rattlesnakes hunters?
Mhm.
So what do you think the venom might be for?
Good. Do you want to answer, Madeline? Okay, go ahead.
Hunting.
Exactly. So what the snake does is it sneaks up on a rabbit and bites it and then backs up. And it lets the venom kill the rabbit and then the snake can eat the rabbit. Now that might not sound too nice to us, but how many of you eat hamburgers? Raise your hand if you eat hamburgers. Raise your hand if you eat hot dogs. Okay. Where did those things come from? Where does meat come from? Where does meat come
Animals.
from? Animals, exactly. Now, do we have to go out and kill the animal? Or does somebody do it for us, right? Somebody else does it for us. Is somebody gonna kill the rabbit for the rattlesnake? No, the rattlesnake has to hunt for itself. Now, sometimes if we step on a rattlesnake and it bites us, it might put venom in us that could make us sick. So we need to know what to do so that we don't get bit by a rattlesnake. Now remember, does the rattlesnake live in the park?
Mhm.
Yep. Does the bear live in the park? Does the cougar live in the park? Wait, is it their home?
Mhm.
Yeah, wait a minute. Are we the visitors? Oh, so we're going into their home, right? So do you think we should treat them with respect? Yeah. So here's what you do with snakes. If you hear a rattle, well, first of all, let's back up. Should you stay on a trail? Should you walk on a trail? Yes, because then you can see what's in front of you, okay? So walk on the trail, and if you hear a rattle, what do you think you should do? Run screaming? Why wouldn't you run? You might fall off a cliff, right? So you stop, find the snake. Oh, there it is.
Back away slowly.
And back away slowly. Good job. So I think we can live and let live with the animals in state parks. Can I see a thumbs up? Good job. That's exactly right, Aria and Jordan. If you don't mess with it, it won't mess with you. Say to the snake, I'm not food. Yeah, you could try it.
Just like with the cougar, right? Tell the deers, I am not a deer. You tell the snake, I am not a rabbit. Madeline's, she's, I am not a deer.
I need the mouse. Is this the kind of mouse that a rattlesnake would go after?
I hope not.
Well, this has been really informative, Ranger Pat. Thank you so much for sharing all of this great information with us. I'll tell you what, we were going to do a quick quiz, but let's do questions. If there are any other questions for Ranger Pat or for Christy before we get to our fun little quiz. Raise your hand if you have a question. Kira, you want to unmute yourself and ask?
What do bears eat?
So when bears like to eat different things. So especially in the fall, they like to eat nuts or acorns and berries. That's that's the stuff they really want to eat. So that's what they look for in the fall. And when they eat the nuts, they eat the whole thing. Can you imagine taking a walnut in the shell and sticking it in your mouth and chewing up the whole thing? Well, a bear can do that. Yeah. And when they poop out the pieces of shell too.
Ew.
Same with the peanut. A peanut has a shell too.
They could eat the shells of a peanut. Yes, they could.
Okay, you've got 2 in the chat. One is, what other animal should we be on the lookout for? And can snakes jump?
So snakes can't jump, right? But they've got a lot of muscle in their body so that when they coil up, if they're afraid, they're gonna coil up like this because they're trying to protect themselves, okay? But if you get too close, then they can reach out with their mouth and strike. So I think snakes are very cool because they kill rodents and they're part of the ecosystem. They're really important. But just like with the cougar and the bear, which I also love, I respect them. So what that means is I want to look at them, but from a safe distance, right? I don't want to upset them or scare them.
This is yours. Cool. And then it was, what other animals should we look out for? And also, have you ever seen any baby mountain lions? She said just lions, but I'm assuming she means mountain lions.
I wish I had seen baby mountain lions, but I feel really lucky to have seen, well, you know what? I got to back up.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I would want to see baby mountain lions because then that means that mama's around too.
So many years ago, I was driving to work and I was getting close to the park and I saw a deer running down the hill, running across the road. And I saw something behind it. And all my brain would think was count. So the mountain lion ran across the road. The mountain lion ran across the road. The mountain lion ran across the road. The mountain lion ran into the road, stopped, looked at me, and then walked off the road. How many mountain lions or cougars did I see? Did you count? No, each one of those was a separate cougar. How many did I see? I saw 4 cougars that ran across the road. Now, cougars, they're usually by themselves. So my guess is, were you going to say something, Christy? Were you jumping in? My guess is that was a mama cougar with 3 teenage cougars. She was trying to teach them how to hunt. That's what I think. It was really cool. And as far as for other animals, you know, it's not for me, all of the animals are really cool. And what's important is to respect them. And that means everything. That means even if I see an ant, I don't want to step on it, or a spider, or a bee, or anything that's scary to me. It might be scary a little bit to me, but what do you think? Does it want to live just like I do?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, guys, gals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When,
Cockroaches want to live, don't they?
They
Yeah.
do want to live, but every
What?
time I see one in the classroom.
We all want to live. Yeah, that's right.
And then,
one time I saw a dead bee in my grandma's backyard. It wasn't smushed or anything. I bet it stings something because its stinger wasn't there when I looked at it through a magnifying glass.
Well, that's really good that you took a look, right? Honeybees when they sting, they die. So honeybees don't want to run around stinging things either. So, you know, everything wants to live and everything is interesting in its own way.
And then we've got a lot of have you seen these animals questions. So baby bear, coyote, I think I saw, oh, and a bobcat.
Okay. So at Sugar Eats, I have seen all of those. Yep.
That's really cool. I saw a coyote at my house in Albuquerque.
Leah, did you have a question that you wanted to ask, or did you ask it in the chat already?
She did
All right,
type, so
well-
her question was, have you seen a baby bear?
Okay, gotcha. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Well,
there
this
was.
oh, go ahead.
I don't, if I were starving, I might try and eat the nuts in bear poop, but I'd have to be really hungry.
And she saw it on a TV show for survivalists.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. And the baby bear that I saw was alive, but it was by itself, and I don't know if it was going to survive or not. I hope it did.